Marco, a nice win last week, most importantly, but also now a full week with your squad after that weirdness of kind of international break with players getting back on a Thursday before a big game at home. Must be nice to have been back home preparing for a big match.
Definitely, it's very important. Of course, it's not just for us, and it's a good sign when you have so many international players and when you are without 11 players from your squad during 15 days almost, and some of them, they just arrived with us last Thursday before the Chelsea game, what means that some of them, they were together just Friday, really. And of course, it's not being excused, but it's always more difficult to prepare. That is the thing. Players, they with different habits in the national team, not the same, worse or better, but they are not the same habits, and of course take a lot of time. I think we all have the enough experience to deal with these type of situations, because as I said, that is not the excuse. The reality that performance-wise, the first half was not at the best. As you mentioned, the way we pushed second half, and we were rewarded for that with a fortunate goal, is true, but we were rewarded for that. It was important to don't lose important things in that game as well, in terms of balance, to don't be naive, to don't be sloppy, because in some moments, if these things happen, it's going to be more difficult. The reality that we kept ourselves with enough concentration to make the game going, and of course to push the second half more to win the game. And as you mentioned, very important to have a full week. Of course, after you have the day off that the players, they needed and they deserve, and of course from that moment we start to prepare the derby game with all the week, all the players involved, and of course different preparation. Let's hope you can see that reflects on the match tomorrow.
To get that, despite the fact we got 2 points and we flushed that negativity of the Chelsea, to pick up that 3 points and the first win, it's not a release, so to speak, but it's important, right?
It was important win. We cannot say that is not important. Of course, all the wins are important, all the 3 points are important. It's always the same conversation. It's like almost a cliche, but that one was important, definitely. After was our second home game of the Premier League. After, I have to say, a very good performance against Man United, where we deserve much more than just a draw. We drew that game. Second game against a good side like Leeds, but a new promoted team. That is always a thing that, okay, is a game that we have to, or try to win the match, and it was very important, because that I said that certain things that the people doesn't look in that way, but they were important that game in terms of concentration, in terms of to get a clean sheet and all that stuff. It gave us the platform, probably the second half, to push a little bit more and to go in a direction that we wanted to go. But definitely, it's just the beginning of the season. I know it was just the fourth game of the season, but that winning was very important for us, and probably is going to have an impact in the others that will come.
It's a cliche that I've been here for 10 years, and I feel like I say it a lot, but like in that game when 6 minutes added on was held up, you could sense a bit of a turning of a screw, a ratcheting in the crowd, which then contributed to the point which we got the 3 points. That, in a nutshell, is a representation of how important our fans can be this weekend against Brentford.
100% sure. When things start to happen more often, is not a coincidence no more. The reality that you have looking for ourselves, and we play the fourth game, and I have to say that we score twice in the last minutes of in 2 games. Against Man United, you score not in the last minutes, but we score, and that we push until the last minute to win the game with the crowd behind. That is the reality, and it's something that you start to create with the fans. It's something that this type of connection, this type of belief, this type of trust that the game is not going to stop, and the guys, they are going to push, is very important. We play our part, and of course the fans, they play their part, and I think they understood it. They have been understanding more and more and more. I told last week in the pre-match conference that we are going to need more them than probably in the past this season, because it's what I need, because I know that with them behind, we are going to be capable to do even better things, to put last effort in, and of course the moves from the bench, the players that came in can help as well. Of course, the impact of 1 or 2 players probably help them as well to boost their support, but they play a big part on the last win and late goal.
Double-edged question. Keith Andrews came into a situation where the vacuum that's left when a manager who's been there a long time, culture setting as long as he had, how do you feel? He's done an excellent job settling in. How do they play, and what do you expect from them this weekend?
First, what to expect, derby game, physical side, strong side, always very competitive games between us and them, some excited games as well, late emotions, late goals, and always the games they have games with goals as well, sometimes not just one goal, more than one goal always, and all that stuff. When teams leading and after turning the score around and all that stuff. The games, they have been emotional with them. Normally the derbies, they are like that. And as you mentioned, of course, was not just the Thomas Frank that left the club, part of this staff as well. Okay, some players they left, but they just show that they did prepare well themselves for that situation. For example, normally I give an example: when you lose Norgard and you sign in Anderson, looks that you are prepared for something, because you see some similarities in terms of profile, in terms of the type of player, the experience, the maturity, what he can give on the pitch and off the pitch as well. And you see that they things they prepare. And of course, Andrews is putting his stamp on the team as well. You can see some similarities. A team that can play with 4, can play with 5, can mix well the formation. A team that still strong in that moment, like set pieces and all that stuff. And you see some similarities. Of course, you can see that the stamp of the manager is coming there, and probably in the future you are going to see more. But I agree with you that they have been starting very well the season.
How's the squad?
Some knocks from the intense week and a tough week for the players, but nothing really that I can say now that they are going to be not in contention to the game. Not fresh news from last season.
You got the win. What was your feeling on the game?
Yeah, definitely. Literally what you just said there. Wasn't very fluid. I think the first half was quite difficult for us. They made it difficult. They played out from the back really well, kept the ball really well, and yeah, it took us quite a long time to really get into the game. And my feeling was, going into half time, we wasn't really at it. For many reasons, they made it hard for us. But in second half, probably different game. You know, we put more pressure on them. We kept the ball well. Yeah, waited for the right moments, and then yeah, happy towards the end, and we got the winner.
And you've been playing at left back so far this season, and our first league clean sheet of the season. You must be really pleased with that.
Definitely. I think last season, so many times we conceded so many goals, and I don't think we had many clean sheets. So to get the first one this early is good, and we have to just build from there.
And we made a knack of scoring late goals last season. It was another one on the weekend. Those sort of moments that really does help bond the team with fans and hopefully kickstart the season for us.
Definitely, and that's what we're always trying to score goals. And obviously, it looked like we was going to draw that game, but again, the resilience in this team is really good to keep going towards the end. And then, yeah, like you said, we got rewards towards the end.
And your versatility has been something we've seen across both your spells at the club, but especially the second spell. Now you're playing left back a little bit more often. How do you feel playing there? You feel more comfortable there?
Yeah, it's my position. You know, I got into the team as a 16-year-old all those years ago as a left back. Started off there, and obviously went further forward. And I know obviously players and fans and people have their opinions on me and where they want me to play and things like that. But I'm just happy to be on the pitch playing. And yeah, ideally I am a left back, so trying to do my job.
Brentford on Saturday, it's a big game. It's a derby game. We had 2 special games against them last season. What can we expect?
Very physical game. They're very strong in defence and in attack. And they use probably every aspect of the game, really, in terms of set pieces and throw-ins and stuff like that. So we need to be ready. And yeah, I think both games, home and away, were really dramatic, the way they ended. And thankfully we did the double over them, and we'll try get the 3 points on Saturday.
And you're a Fulham boy, you must know how important this game is to the supporters.
Definitely. All the London derbies are really important, but the ones in West London, for sure, more important for the fans.